Hi, everybody. I am here with Jerrell Cox. It's been a journey getting to today, and Jerrell is an alumnus of Urban College of Boston. I am just delighted to be with him, and he's someone with a joyful spirit and who is also very community-minded. So, Jerrell, will you tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started and the work that you do?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me in those kind words. My name is Jerrell Cox. I'm the CEO of USES, United Southend Settlements, a nonprofit in Boston that works to support and uplift children and their families facing barriers to success. We focus on early childhood education and family support, and we have this incredible summer camp called Camp Hill, best summer camp in the world. The organization has been a vital resource in Boston for over 130 years.
Oh.
And I have had the privilege of being with the organization now for 31 years. I started, say again?
It's impressive. You started at 2 years old.
Well, thank you. Thank you. My journey started as a camper at that incredible place, Camp Hill. You can't tell that I'm biased. I love it. And I worked at Camp Hill. Well, I went as a young person and stayed with the organization. Camp Hill developed and shaped my leadership and commitment to youth development, but also to community. Like, it was just an incredible place that really taught me how to love myself and love the world around me. And I worked in the after school program, and then I went on to lead the out of school time programs and run Camp Hill. And then eventually I stepped into, with my Sharia's and Julia's leadership, we came upon this opportunity to fundraise for Camp Hill. And I did a lot of fundraising and strategy work and raised $5.6 million for Camp Hill, just ensuring the legacy for future generations and transforming our site. And that propelled me into the CEO role. I took on development first and then co-CEO and now CEO. And I've been CEO now for United Southend Settlements. It's been my pleasure and privilege to serve in this role now for 3.5 years. And my focus has been on the strategy of building foundations for children, specifically through early childhood education. I've been also focused on economic mobility, community partnerships, and just ensuring that our organization remains a vital resource for Boston for years to come. So excited to be here, excited that we finally got on the Zoom, and
Here we are. Yeah, well, that is really, really impressive, Jerrell. And I have to say, you are a wonderful outlier. And even as I say that, I'm also very committed to ensuring that you are not just an outlier, but that we continue to see more males of color in the field of early childhood education. Can you speak a little bit to what that means to you? Who were your role models in leadership, especially as a male and a male of color, and in your journey ascending all the way to the pinnacle of your institution, of your organization? Who did you see as leaders? Who inspired you? And who taught you some of the skills to navigate and thrive in the workplace?
Oh, wow. Too many leaders to count, and the people watching this would not be entertained if I just started listing out a bunch of names. But I'm fortunate to say the leaders for me were my incredible parents. My mom, who I still speak to on a weekly basis and has been the foundation of my life, ran early childhood education out of our house. So I discovered youth work through my mother's work, and my sister now does that as well. And my dad was also who we lost in 2002. My dad was the guy. Like my dad was gentle and warm, but also an advocate for all things. And he was a disciplinarian, but he did it with grace and compassion. And I think that's what inspired me to do what I do, like the service of giving back and ensuring that children are set up for success has been my work, because I saw it firsthand from my mother doing it, my mother and father running it out of our home every day. And then going on to Camp Hale, where I was surrounded by male role models, specifically Black men of color. And one of my mentors and now best friend also was a Black man with locks, and he was doing this work. Damon Bills was probably my first role model outside of the home and outside of the classroom that showed me exactly what I could do, showed me exactly what I could achieve in running the summer camp, seeing a path for myself, setting goals and achieving them. So yeah, I think that would be
Wonderful.
The best way to answer the question.
That's wonderful. And Jerrell, I have to say, you exude a certain joy and also pride in speaking about your dad. And I know that your dad is how you found yourself at Urban College. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, college for me, high school, for getting out of high school, first of all, was the start of the journey. And then I got out of high school and I got into college in Arkansas and went to that college, but I lost my pops and had to come home. And then in transferring back home, I bounced around a couple community colleges that didn't really see that I was lost. And I needed a different level of engagement and patience to reach my own potential. And I enrolled at Urban with the goal of becoming a credentialed educator so that I could work in early childhood education here at USCS. I wanted to be an assistant preschool teacher. And Urban was walking distance from USCS. I could just walk there. And I remember my first experience at Urban because it was the first time when I hate to say this, but I missed an assignment, right? And it wasn't the end of the world. I didn't feel stupid. I didn't feel like I couldn't catch up or pass. It was just like, this is critical. We talked about your goals and, let's get you caught up. Let's really work to get you caught up so you don't fall behind. And also let's make sure when you finish this course that you have the skills that you need to take on the task that you want to take on of being an early childhood educator. So Urban was the first place for me that unlocked my interest in higher learning, my interest in okay, I'm going to get this credential and I'm going to apply it to this work. Like everything that I was doing, I could apply to my work. Like it wasn't like a theory course that you're like, this isn't really interesting. This doesn't really apply. Like, so it sparked something in me. Clearly now I'm the CEO of the organization and am amplifying the work of early childhood education across our organization and to our external partners. I think it's critical for our children to start off with a healthy foundation in life. And it's just a fact. It's what we need to do. We need to invest in our children and our families to make sure they're set up for success. So very grateful for Urban, for seeing me, for investing in me, and for pouring into me at a time where I needed it most. I had just lost my pops, but didn't want to lose sight of the goals that we had set to work in this field and to be a leader that people want to follow. So here I am.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about continuing to build a path to socioeconomic mobility for our communities of color, and especially for Black males. So when you think about college, cost is a big component of that, and being able to do it in a way that is debt-free, which we allow our students to be able to do at Urban College, or minimal debt if people want to study abroad or do whatever and decide to take on debt. How important was that to you in ensuring that you went to a school, to a college that allowed you to build, to continue building on your intergenerational wealth? Certainly, there are all kinds of wealth, right? What your parents gave you, and the values and navigational skills and all of that, the cultural wealth that you had. But financial wealth is also very important. So how important was attending, what were those questions to you as you chose Urban College?
Oh, super important. I think representation was critical for me in choosing Urban College, and seeing people that look like me in the classroom and across from the desk. And then I also think the price of school, is probably the most important part. Like, can I afford this? Mm-hmm. Will this set me back? Because I gotta eat, I gotta pay my rent, and I wanna move forward. So is this the right step, and will this get me the role that I need to move forward? So when I chose Urban, I was able to stay on top of all of my financial goals, and it immediately got me the job that I needed, right? So that was the other thing about getting this credential. It set me up for success right away. I was able to apply for work right after, and just continue to climb the ladder. So I'm impressed to see that they have these opportunities now that are free. And I think what I try to tell our team here, as we're trying to get them to go to Urban, actually, trying to get our educators to take the next step in their education. A lot of the anxiety is around falling behind. A lot of the anxiety is around falling behind with your classwork, not being able to be supported, and also falling behind financially. So the fact that school can be free, and that there are educators and a structure in place where people see you and want you to be successful and put intentional systems in place for you to be successful, that's the institution we need to go to. So we're excited to be connecting our teachers to Urban, and hopefully putting them on the same launch pad that I was on, to taking on leading programs and eventually running this incredible institution here in Boston.
That's great. That's excellent. Thank you so much, Jerrell. And I just have one last question for you as we wrap up. So as you look at people from the neighborhoods that you and I are from, or people from elsewhere outside the country, people who may even be in rural areas, in Tony suburbs, when you think about what you got at Urban College in general, and also specifically in your field and your leadership trajectory, what advice do you have to say to people that right now is the time to invest in your education? It's the time for you to take control of your future, of your legacy, and that the time is right. The time is right. And the earlier we start investing in ourselves, the sooner we start seeing the returns on that investment. So what advice would you have for folks who are contemplating whether now is the time for college or not, and folks who may be a little older too?
Yeah, my advice to anybody considering it is the time is now, and don't wait. I think when I was on the journey, I kept telling myself, you know what? After this summer, I'm gonna sign up, or you know what, I just got to get through this body of work, or after this birthday. No, the time is now. Take on one class, two classes, go there, read it, go to an information session, start the process, because it's a process. Get to know the people. And once you get to know the people, you'll see yourself in those people. And then you'll recognize that there's a level of psychological safety that you can start this journey, because it's a journey, and be gentle with yourself throughout the journey. But the most important part is starting. starting, going there, staying with it, and building a community around you of people that are cheerleaders and people that will hold you accountable. Because the cool part about where I started this story was, yeah, I did miss an assignment, but it wasn't like it's okay, you don't need to get it in. It was like, what do we need to do for you to get it in? And then how do we make sure you don't miss this assignment moving forward? So I think if I could give anybody any advice, it would be stop wasting time. Well, that's a little negative. Start right now. Start right now, because you can do it, and Urban College has the people to help you do it. So have confidence in yourself, because we have confidence in you.
Jerrell, you are so incredibly uplifting, and I love talking to you. And you are just a living legacy of what we do and what our mission is about. Not only were you able to use your own agency to use these opportunities to lift yourself up, but you continue to lift others and pour into young children, into the adults with whom you work. And we're immensely proud of you and immensely grateful that you're always willing to share time with us. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.